grace, social activism, resources, and art. I am the assist. My right hand sister, I think my right hand sister is gonna make it. I haven't heard anything to the contrary. I am hoping, cause it felt like I ain't been on a show with her in months, man. It's not good. It's not good. And she popped a little shot at me about not coming over in a while, but they know I love them. They know I'm running around, but I'm definitely gonna go over there because they family for real. But so we have reps in the building. I don't know what they doing yet. You know what I'm saying? I hope this footage that reps is getting is good. No, I'm just messing around. But so I wanna we gotta get that wax board so I can always remember to tell people to get the Katika app. That's number one. Black Diamond Tire Shop. Google it. Cornerstone Drop-In Center. Low Barrier Drop-In Center. Basically like 12 and older, wash clothes. We gotta get the wash machines. We had wash machines down there and they were supposed to be working, but they wasn't working. So now we're in the process of getting more wash machines. But you could wash your clothes, you could take a shower, you can get clothes. We have a variety of workshops. We're trying to keep building on workshops, program and providers. We welcome you to come down 2321 North Broad, building a community. Eddie's house is what's, back in the whole situation. You know what I mean? Eddie's house been in the business for 13 years doing housing support, housing assistance. And, they name speak for itself. Look it up. Look up Eddie's house. I'm proud to be a part of that family and being able to tell people that I work with amazing people who've been doing this. Miss Marion, it is what it is. Look her up. But Cornerstone Drop-In Center, 2321 North Broad Street. We got the garden going on. We have a music program in the works with Beyond Bars. Shout out to Matt and Chris. Appreciate, everything y'all brought down there. We do the restorative justice circles. It's a restorative justice hub, So we have our Wednesday community table every Wednesday at 6. It's a place for fans. Whatever gaps you have in your life, you can come down there and we'll try to help figure it out. And what we're doing is basically asking the community to do what we've always done and be our own service provider, but try to help people learn how to build programs and do workshops. That's another thing. We got that. I don't have a flyer with me right now to look at it, but we got the joint on the 24th to show people how to do LLCs, show people 501Cs, how to do their 501Cs. Just put our community in position to help itself. Let me make sure I'm supposed to even be telling y'all this might be invite only or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm even supposed to be telling y'all about this. Nah. Community Entrepreneur Collective, LLC. Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna keep doing it like this. CCM Business Workshop. This is the type of stuff that, Cornerstone will be providing. And we want to get community members to, get you the education. Then you can do workshops. It's like we keep teaching each other. Have more information and things to pass on to our children. More skill sets, more abilities. And what is better than, being self-sufficient in every way? Getting data, controlling the narrative, security, security for Philly, Black Diamonds. You got to make sure that, our community is protected and we're the ones protecting it. So you look us up. We do security. Am I forgetting anything? Damn, I can't think of my brother Kyrie. I can't think of the name of his security firm, but he down with the squad. I don't think there's nothing that I'm forgetting right now. Oh, PAR research. If you are 16 to 24 years old, we doing this through the Fathership Foundation. My brother, Dr. Wilson, he brought PAR to the city. He did PAR research in Delaware. That's the first place. And PAR is Participatory Action Research. So Did I say everything? Hold up. I'll jump right into the PAR jump, but give me a minute. You got to open it up for me again, though. But PAR is participatory action research. PAR has a long history in the South American struggle. And what it was is the people who were being researched, they figure as a revolutionary act that you should make sure that your community is doing research on itself. So when people be saying terms like telling truth to power and all that, and I could have a whole conversation about that and how I feel about even that term and everything, but this is a real way to show truth to power by having actual data and statistics about the community you live in so that nobody can come up with solutions and ideas and things like that about your community. They can't come to you and really tell you about your community if you did the research and the data. Like, it's something very simple, not simple because it is a skill set, being a research associate or being a PhD who teaches people how to do research, because PhD is a research degree. But it can be something as simple as, you know, you got 34 people, 34 houses on your block, and you find out how many actual people live on the block by the numbers. And you can ask see how many people work, see how many fathers are in the house. So when see how many, you know, people are married. Like, you could do all of these numbers. So when people, politicians, different institutions come to you and say, all right, this is what we want to do for the community, or this is what's going on in the community, you can always address that and say, no, this is what's going on in our community on this particular block, because we know how many people live on this block. We know how many people are married on this block. We know how many single moms are on this block. We know how many people are in prison. We know how many, you know, just by this particular block. So when people come and say that they want to help you or they're trying to help you, you can know exactly what type of help that you need. People can't come dictate, and then 5-10 years down the line, you get these outcomes that you didn't foresee because somebody else was telling you what to do, as it was a theory for them. Like, they came in, you know what I'm saying? So we can do that as an overall community, and that's what PAR research is. And you have Dr. Yasser Arafat Payne. He is a tenured professor at the University of Delaware. And then you have Dr. Brooklyn Hitchens, and she's in the criminology department at the University of Maryland, and they're the principals on it. It's another professor. The name is escaping me right now, but what they're doing is giving us the opportunity to redo research in our own community, so we can truly control the narrative. And I'm a research associate with PAR, and right now we're researching gun violence. And I have been doing interviews or surveys with, you know, whatever name you want to use, with young folks 16 to 24 years old, male or female. But we want the shooters. We want the young folks that's in the mix, or the young folks who have proximity to the mix. You know, like your older brothers. They out there, they do what they do, they in the mix. You know that culture, you're around them. You're not necessarily in it with them, but you are somebody that I will want to talk to because you understand the culture. And it's really just giving us an idea of what the culture is. What is gun culture in Philadelphia amongst that age range? Because that's where most of the shooters are coming from, or so they're saying. Because we should really understand what is gun violence? Where does it come from? You know, what are the reasons for these young folks that we're saying, if these young men are committing gun violence in this way in this city? And it's the same in mostly already almost every city. Everybody gets a turn. That's crazy, to the point where now they're competing about death, and they talking about it in the music and so forth and so on. But what is putting these young men and women in this space where they think that all conflicts have to be solved with guns? And everybody around them is feeling threatened, and everybody feel like there's a heightened level of security, and any interaction can turn into gun violence. So we asking those young folks that are in the mix, and it's been very a lot of the stuff that I already knew from reading. This is not a new thing, from being involved in it at that same age in a different time, but it was the same things. But being able to hear this from young men and women, it's exciting for me. Like, all the books that I've read in my life, And now I'm on, so like I'm a part of that because books will be written about this information. Articles will be written about this information. Uh, speaking engagements, interviews about this, and like we're going to get an opportunity to go through the numbers, and it's real exciting for me. Like the interview part is cool, it's dope, but I want to get through to when we start crunching the numbers and we start writing about it. You know what I'm saying? And we doing, like I said, interviews about it, and we're doing, presentations behind the information. That's the part for me that's really going to be something. But it's exciting for me because I've read a lot of books where people did actual research to get the statistics to write a good, honest book. And, every person that writes a book put what they think the information means in the book. And that's another important reason why we should be collecting our own data, because when Penn does it, or Drexel does it, or Temple does it, or St. Joe's does it, it's normally people who are not culturally competent. You know what I'm saying? So they're collecting all this information, for academia purposes, for their own purpose, to be the best, street ethnographer. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to be the best. So the information is good information, but how they're collecting it, what they're doing with it, what it means to them, that's not something that the people that they actually study to get the information has anything to do with. They go on and use the information to write best-selling books, to sell the information to institutions, for-profit institutions, multinational corporations that want to know what groups of people think, how they eat, how they talk, how they walk. They want to know this so they can know how to sell things. Politicians definitely want that information. All types of policies can be written around this information. So for me, if you don't have anybody from that community that's being studied, being on the other side of collecting that data, it's impossible to have an honest broker in the room when this information is being used for whatever you're going to use it for. So PAR gives us another power source, another way to empower yourself as a community. So, I thank Dr. Wilson all the time. I got wild love for that brother for giving me the opportunity. He seeked me out. Before this opportunity was presented, he had told me on multiple occasions once me and him met, because we just so happened we from the same hood, just two parts of the same hood. He a little older than me. But once we met and we started talking and we started seeing what each other was doing, he told me about it and was saying, yo, this what I was doing in Delaware. You know what I'm saying? He got his PhD. You know what I'm saying? Being street boy out there. You know what I'm saying? But information can be real attractive, man. When you start reading books and watching documentaries and all that, you get a thirst for that. Like you really be chasing. You be like, yo, I didn't know. Like, and that's all. That's all you have to do to flip the switch sometime to get some information, and it just blow your mind. Like that really happened. I had a lot of people come to me like books that I gave them, you know what I'm saying, or even books that they gave me. They read it and they was like, yo, this one part right here was crazy. I did not know this. And it sparks you and it makes you want to keep getting this information. But the brother came to me and he kept telling me every time we seen each other, yo, you'll be perfect for this joint, this research team. And I believed him, but you still moving around. And then when he came to me, it's like, yeah, that joint popping. And once I got he told me what it was, but now that I'm in the middle of it and I see what it is and how big it could be and how empowering it is, like, I feel like I'm downplaying it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But more and more, like I said, when we get through this interview part of it, we really going to get to see, like, I definitely my family, the folks around me, they going to get to see, like, this is bigger than interviews. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, it's just interviews, and it's a couple dollars. I will say this, during these interviews is like selling drugs, and I have not been on my set in like 2 weeks. I'm fucking out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because you leaving money on the table. And people that take the interviews, you can get $30 for it for doing the interview. But anyway, the brother told me about it. His name, like I said, is Dr. Wilson, and we're doing the PAR research through the Fathership Foundation. Fathership Foundation, Southwest Philly, in the middle of the hood. You feel what I'm saying? Serving our community, 75th and King Sesson. I don't remember the exact address, but he right there on the corner. You cannot miss it. And it's gonna be them Jones gonna be all over the place. You know, he gonna have a satellite office at Cornerstone at some point. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak it into existence. And then this John it's about to be something real nice for a brother who put the work in. You know, so, you know, again, shout out to the Fathership Foundation. I love doing the work. I appreciate Dr. Wilson for having me, you know, in mind. And is really everything he said it was, and I know it's gonna be more. So the other thing is I'm about to get into wholesaling, man. We need to get into wholesale. I got a couple people around me that's in it already, and I've been waiting my time. You know what I'm saying? But now it's the time, like, to really get into wholesaling with houses or everything, any and everything, but definitely houses. The other thing is the Salvation Army on Broad and Fairmont. You know, we about to be open and active in that joint. It's a lot of good space, and it's gonna be a lot of dope programming. We supposed to be doing not supposed to be doing. We're gonna do a chess club. We definitely doing that. I wanted to do like some dance stuff and like drill stuff, but I hope that's gonna still go down. You feel what I'm saying? I hope that's definitely still a thing. But I want to utilize that space. My brother CJ with the Tennessee program, he definitely gonna be in the building. He got a lot of things. I hope y'all have seen that story when, you know, he was showing the young folks how to change brakes, how to take a tire off, you know, the whole nine. Look, basic stuff that we really all should know, because changing brakes is very easy. You want to practice a few times just to make sure you got it all the way down, because you don't want to be playing with nobody brakes. But, you know, Tennessee program, and we going, what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. We're going to do a mock trial and a mock surgery. And then we'll keep repeating it over and over again with different young folks. But not so much because I do want people need to know the law, definitely. But I just think, you know, it's a lot of different job opportunities, or, you know, you can envision to be something in the courtroom, except for the fucking defendant. We don't want defendants. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we want. You don't want to aspire to be the defendant. But it's a lot of other jobs in the courtroom. And there's a lot of reason to know what goes on in a courtroom. It's important to know the importance of doing jury duty. Like, people think they run from jury duty, but it's like, it's one of the few ways that you can add to different ways you can have power in some way in America. You can be on the jury. And if you somebody that got identity and a little bit of information, you can stand firm on a lot of people that's being treated wrong in the courts. And the reason why you can stand firm, because I've had conversations, you can read books about this, you know what I'm saying, and you could watch trials. You know, court TV was a big thing in court. I mean, in prison. You know, dudes was trying to learn a lot of, like, legal jargon. Like, dudes used to watch court TV not for entertainment. It turned into entertainment after a while with the different shit that people would be doing during the middle of these trials, and it would turn into a spectacle. But cats in prison used to watch court TV and be, like, studying stuff. Like, how do you present? I'm trying to remember one time a brother that was in a cell with me, I'm trying to remember what his name was, but he learned how to pronounce the word properly by watching court TV, like something like non-pros or something, and he was like, man, the whole time we saying this, and this is really how you say the word. And that's the type of games they'll play with you too in court. They get that diabolical with you. The misspelling of a word can have them throw your whole argument, and you know and they know that this word was just misspelled or even misplaced. You could read it and tell, and your whole life is teetering on the balance of a misspelled word, and they know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But and I done lost my train of thought on the court TV thing, man. Dang, you supposed to have me right there. Like, yo, what was we talking about just now? And I only allowed that to happen because I wanted to see if this brother was on point while we was up in here, man.
Talk TV is educational. It's educating people on with,
yes. Yeah. Back to the Salvation Army, the programming in the Salvation Army, the mock trial, and the mock surgery. And there is a lot of different jobs in the courtroom. One of the powers you can have as a citizen, as a black citizen, is to participate on a jury, because a lot of court wrongs can be righted, if that's a word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't be like the courts.
Curious, how do you have a mock surgery?
So, my daughter's mom, right? She works at Penn. Shout out to her and her job. She's doing an amazing job. She's about to become a supervisor, because she really knows what she's doing. But she is a material handler. And if I'm somebody can call in or something to tell me like, you're explaining this wrong or whatever, and I don't necessarily know, but what I understand is they get all the surgeries, as you know, are pre-appointed, and every surgery has a list of tools that they need in the surgery, and a lot of those things get delivered, if I'm not mistaken, daily for each surgery that's going to go on in the course of the day. So when it hits the doc, she is one of the people that separates all the tools to make sure that they're going to the right surgery, and then they deliver them to the room. So when you deliver it to the room, if a surgery is going on, you could actually sit in there and watch the surgery. So you could do a mock surgery by me asking somebody like her, or you could probably ask a doctor or anybody. You could probably go to a hospital, because I do all that, and say, how many people are in the room during the surgery? You feel what I'm saying? What are the different, depending on the surgery, it may change who's going to be, but every surgery going to have an anesthesiologist. So they're going to be in there. Now, they could be different types of anesthesiologists depending on what the operation is. The reason why I know that, I already knew it, but just to give y'all an example of why I know that is because my brother just had open heart surgery. And he had back surgery first. But because he had the issues with his heart, they had to have a cardiac anesthesiologist in the room to monitor his heart, and that's their only job, is to monitor his heart throughout the surgery. So if his heart start doing anything it's not supposed to do, they'll administer whatever they need to administer to regulate it while they're doing the surgery. So every surgery has an anesthesiologist. Then you got the people that just pass the tools. That's their whole job. Scalpel, you pass the scalpel. Then you got the primary surgeon, and then you might even have an intern. And then again, depending on what the surgery is, you might have, if he's getting back surgery, you have the back specialist in there, but then you might have somebody that's a specialist in like just vertebrae or something like that. If you read about this, this is really how I go down. And you might have an intern in there and somebody that's just advising. So the intern is doing it, but you got the expert in there for anything that seems difficult, he can explain it to him. And then you got people in the background that do different stuff. So I know that if we say something like people in a knee surgery, you know what I'm saying? Or, it might not get nothing complex, but you could just get the list.
All right.
And I get it from her.
So it's basically educational on the different doctors, the different people, the different departments of surgery, not... We said mock surgery.
No. We ain't gonna really go in.
How do you mock surgery?
We ain't gonna really go in. We ain't got no bodies. I don't know what we gonna use for X, but I'm sure I can find a mannequin or something. You know what I'm saying? A table. It could be very rudimentary. It's gonna look rough, but it's just something to have the children thinking about something, participating in something, and if they want to be actors or entertainers. This could be turned into what they call it? An improv. It could turn into an improv. You know what I'm saying? So, but those is two things where it's a lot of moving parts. It could be very interesting. Most children always talk about being a lawyer or a doctor, but it's a lot of, careers and different things around being a doctor or a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? You can do a lot of different things in a courtroom. It's always reporters in the courtroom. A lot of people don't know that. It's always local reporters in the courtroom. Always.
You could just walk down.
Yeah, and just sit and watch court. You know what I'm saying? You definitely can do that. And watching a surgery is not like that, but it's a lot of ways that you can go and view a surgery in real time at a hospital, especially if you work there. And then students be there all the time. Then you got head staff. Like a lot of people don't know, like you have administrators that's at hospitals that are not doctors that run the whole hospital. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a lot of them. Then another thing that being a hospital, my cousin, she works at the University of Penn, and she was like, the pharmaceutical companies, they don't care no more. They just in the building, putting pressure on the doctors like they corner boys. Is you gonna sell this?
Yeah, prescribe
what
this.
You gonna do about this? Like she said, they
don't need this. But
she said once upon a time it was some tech because it was something that was frowned upon. Like you don't want people to know that big pharma has as much influence on a hospital as it does, because a hospital is a business. You know what I'm saying? Like a school, these institutions are a business. They say that they do a certain thing, but that's just the product. And the product is however we want it to turn out. So when people be like, it's a disconnect between the higher ups and no, it's not. This is how it's supposed to work. You feel what I'm saying? You need people who are not doctors. To a certain extent, I'm going to tell you the pro of it. You need people who are not doctors because they have a different mindset and they can give you a different perspective on what's happening. So a doctor may feel like, and y'all watch a lot of these shows, and a lot of this is real psychology on these people in these positions. It's exaggerated at times, but sometimes it's not. You get into these places and you see people who thrive to be the best surgeon. He is a character. Because however he got to where he got, he had to be in this lane, like the whole God complex and all that they talk about. So when you have a top surgeon that believes he's God, he gonna want to do every surgery. You know what I'm saying? Any risk, he don't care about none of that. He's like, yo, I can figure it out. It's a mathematical, you know what I'm saying? It's a solution to this, and that's a real thing. Because the body is a perfect machine, you know what I'm saying? So if you know all these different parts and you start thinking like the God thing, you know what I mean? You're smarter than everybody. Nobody can tell you nothing. So you need people who are not necessarily doctors to look at the information and have that conversation with the doctor like, nah. And then you need somebody to think about lawsuits, insurance, all that good shit. Because the doctor don't, and it really don't matter. I say this a lot. Like, it really don't matter. I'd rather be in a hospital when you talk about advocacy in the hospital and stuff like that and racism and all that good stuff. I'd rather be in a hospital where the folks are extremists and they want to be the best, but the bedside manner is trash. They don't really, everybody is everybody is an object. There is no people in here. There are all objects because there's people that really look at this shit like this on some real. And they usually the ones that rise to the top because they extreme about what they into and what they think and how they supposed to do things. So, but I'd rather be in a hospital with them than the racist folks who just like, we just gonna give you some painkillers and let you suffer on out. Because that's what I just went through with my brother. The folks down south, those hospitals. And then the other thing is learning culture of places. Because where my brother and my sister and them live in South Carolina is a retirement place. And very affluent white folks with good money live in this place. But their medicine is set up to, because you are already older and at the end of life, make you comfortable on your way out. The medicine is not really needs to be, you usually come down there with your issue already understood. You feel what I'm saying? Wherever you move from to retire there, you pretty much already knew what your heart situation was, your back, you feel me? So when you go to their hospitals, it's more like maintenance and making you comfortable as you age and demise. So my brother, he down there 50, 45, and they giving him the same treatment. Oh, you got this. Well, we going to make you comfortable, but your demise, you 45 years old. That's torture. And it's crazy because my brother been getting this horrible treatment, and it's the reason why I had to move my mom up here too. And I fought myself only in that because my brother was dealing with it for the amount of time that he was, I thought all the information was already known. So instead of me doing what I would normally do and research it, I didn't. I just went by what they was telling me because this was already going on. To go down there and get my brother in a pretty much an emergency situation, bring him up here and he getting surgery within 2 days of being in Philadelphia on his back. And a week later, he gets open heart surgery. And you try and tell me that the doctors in Columbia, South Carolina didn't have an understanding of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing they said, why wasn't he getting therapy? And why was he just in the wheelchair? And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So that's another thing about hospitals and conversations around hospitals that I want to have with the mock draft. I mean, mock draft, mock surgery, and mock trial, because it's not going to be just about you might want to act, you might want to, you get an opportunity to learn different careers, but we also going to talk about as much as we can as we build with these young folks what goes on, the social questions, the political questions, the legal questions that come out of these two things, because a lot of information and culture comes out of what really happens during these surgeries and how people are treated, who gets the surgeries, what's the culture of the hospital that you in? You know what I'm saying? Because that's another joint where it's like, what does this hospital do? Because I got, another information where it's like all of the emergency rooms that do like trauma, like when you get shot, stuff like that, they, for whatever reason, they are a certain distance from where these hot spots usually be. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people die because of the drive, because the trauma centers that treat these wounds are never really in the proximity of the areas where it happens in. You know what I'm saying? And that's,
you'll drive past 2 hospitals to get to
right. And then you ain't even gonna drive past it too, because you in this urgent state of mind, you gonna pull into the hospital thinking it's a hospital, and they gonna be like, nah, we can't do here. We still gotta fly him so and so. You know what I'm saying? And then that's another thing. Even the fact that we even driving you, we might be killing you, because that's information that I've gotten of recently. Like, you shouldn't touch the person, man. You are not, and listen. Because of the mindset that you in, and I know people have survived, you know what I'm saying? The science, the statistics, the research says you're gonna move the person in a way that's gonna expedite their demise. Because you don't know how to stabilize them or nothing. You just picking them up, putting them in a car, and you doing this in a crazy way because you know, your mind is like, I gotta get them there. So you banging people in the shit.
But it's just, at times, that's a case-by-case basis, because in some areas, they know EMTs and emergencies and police are not coming.
But the answer to that is learn that. Learn, what is it called? Like when somebody learn how to do a tourniquet, and CPR, like basic shit. Like basic shit. Trauma first aid. You know what I'm saying? Learn trauma first aid. I think every hood should know trauma first aid. You know what I'm saying? As part of you getting the vest and the burner, you need to learn trauma first aid. You dig me? Seriously.
To use it on yourself.
Seriously. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit, because we be killing our homies and not knowing it. That's this real rap. You be killing your homie because you want to get him to the hospital and you don't want to wait. If that's the circumstance. Because a lot of times that's not the circumstance. It is what it is out here. But when people are around, when it ain't the homies and it's people you there, the best bet is to let them stay there. And if you got anybody that know trauma first aid, try to mitigate the circumstance until the EMT get there. Because it's the statistics say, wait. Yeah, definitely. You might have to treat yourself. Definitely. Exactly. Yeah, you can tell somebody how to help you, so we can make it like, like the little brother, yo. We gotta call they pops, man. Man, it was 3 little brothers. It was 4 of them actually, but 3 of them was brothers. They got hit by a car, and everybody cool now. You know what I'm saying? It just was a traumatic experience for everybody, but everybody good now. But the one little brother, he was like 9. Whole bone sticking out his leg, yo, out his shin. He's telling us, be cool, calm down, don't curse. We need y'all. I love y'all. Call my mom and dad. Mom and dad, hold up. Let me explain to you what's going on. Calm down. This is the circumstance. Whole time, there's a whole bone sticking out this little boy. He was like 9, dog, on some real. We carrying him around. He like, yo, this little dude, I can't remember his name, man, but yo, his mom, like, For real, man. I don't know if that's just his personality or his orientation, but however, he got it from y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And listen, young boy was on point. He was kind, and he was in pain. He really, because we was trying to put him down. He was like, oh, don't put me down, though. I don't know what they tell you. Harry, hold me. Yeah, he attacked my brother. He was like, yo, I need somewhere to take him. He was like, yo, what the fuck? He started cursing. Young boy attacked me on the shoulder while he holding me. Like, yo, calm down, bro. Calm down, bro. Don't curse, bro. I need y'all, bro. Yo, that was a crazy joint, man. But I don't remember the little brother's name, but hopefully at some point, man, we can get with him and have him on the show.
9? Huh? You said he was 9?
He was 9, bro. He was 9. I asked a few times. He was 9. Yo, and his man, nah. This is another thing I love, man, and I know this came from his folks. One, he was checking on it. He like, what's up with my brothers? Like, I don't want to go nowhere. I want to know. But more than that, he was like, nah, what's up with the other little brother? Because he wasn't related to them. That was just a man. And I guess he had seen that he was a little more banged up. I don't know for sure. But, yeah, but he wanted to make sure he was cool. Like, nah, I can't leave. We can't go nowhere until, like, what's up with him? Like, we need to see what's up. Make sure he cool like that. Yo, 9, man. 9. He definitely got to be on the show. Yeah, he wasn't crying. And, yo, and he had been there. Now, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. So I don't know how long it takes for adrenaline to come down. I don't know that. So he could have still been, but he was so, and adrenaline is not a revved up thing for everybody too. When your adrenaline pumping, everybody don't be like that. That shit be pumping, but everybody don't be all over the place. But I feel like we was out there long enough to the adrenaline could have sunk, and his bone was sticking out of shit. It was just skin on that jump.
It sounds like it's just the fact that he was more concerned about everybody else, like more concerned about controlling the situation.
He was
like,
too.
That's the most like.
He was. When he tapped when he tapped this ball right here on his shoulder, like, like, calm down, bro. He was like, I need you, man. I need you. Yeah, I need you, man. And the one boys, the one John that took him, they wasn't even an ambulance. That was like a private John. So they scooped him. But I will say, like, everybody that was out there, for the most part, like, folks was concerned. Like, stuff like that be, we always tell these kind of stories, but it ain't what everybody don't hate each other, though. We ain't all trying to murder each other. Like, don't let them make y'all think that the tension is like that, because that makes the tension like that. You feel what I'm saying? I'll be outside, man. Seriously. Sleep in my car. I'm just telling y'all, like, I'll be sleeping in my car. Right. But I'm not saying it's not dangerous. But that's the thing for me. It's always been dangerous in this city. It's always been dangerous in America. America is a violent place. For real, tell me a time when it wasn't a crisis of violence in America. Tell me a time where violence wasn't at crisis in America. There has never been one. So now, I'm not saying that it's not going on, but don't let it distract you from every other thing that's going on that actually is the cause of the violence, in particular gun violence. It's all these other things that happen before somebody gets shot. But they keeping us on people being shot. We say that we say that we solution-based, this, that, and the third, but then it would be off of gun violence. It would be like, why are we even talking about this when people don't have nowhere to live? I'm not even going to talk about this on the news or anything. I'm going to deal with this because I know for a fact that if people have places to stay, violence will go down. I just know that for a fact. That's a fact. It's a lot of other components. A person could come up and say, no, it's this and this. Yeah, it's all those things too. But I know for a fact if you got a comfortable place to lay your head at night and you can be in the house at 9, 10 at your own, like I could just go in the house and chill. I don't got to be out here. Because gotta be out here could look like I just got a place where I could stay after 11 or 12 o'clock. You might not make it to 11 or 12 o'clock. The drill done already happened. You feel what I'm saying? And that's not how every joint, but I'm just saying it's important, y'all. It's important. It's very important. But it's a whole bunch of other things that lead to it, that lead to the gun violence happening. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, coming from somebody that's at this time in prison and all that stuff, having your own place, having your own spot to go to at night, to just relax, it's so peaceful. You know what I mean? Like it's really so peaceful. Like, you know what? I'm going to the crib, man. I don't have to do any of this. I'm going to the crib.
That's crazy that's crazy to think a person don't have that option. Like it could be somebody that's sitting with you chilling. Cause I do want to talk. This do lead to this. Me and my daughter was having this conversation. I've been talking about it, but me and my daughter, and it's just, Eddie's house does this. This is what they specialize in. We don't have emergency housing. I have to always say that, but we get the process. We have a lot of resources to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? But my daughter just said to me like 2 days ago, we had a shout out to my baby Saki, like, grown kids get on my goddamn nerves, man. Y'all think the little ones is the problem. I love the little ones. Maybe I'm a little childish. I don't know. Maybe my childhood was taken from me and I like playing with them and running around and just watching them and catching them. Is that wrong that I like catching kids doing stuff? Is that wrong? Am I petty for that? Am I not being a real adult because I like it? I like standing in the wings and I know it's about to go down. And what y'all doing? What's going on over here? Take your ass back out there. Where your dad at? Take your dad. Go. He back there. You too. Y'all followed him? Find his dad. Everybody together. Why is it that after I get them away, I laugh a sinister I laugh a sinister laugh like, God, I can't. It's like, no, I'm just playing, but I do like it. I'm sorry. I do like catching kids doing shit they ain't got no business. Like, get your ass out of here. I like it. But anyway, yo, I'm sorry. This is a bad John. That was a bad John. I tracked the conversation for that. That was bad. But I do like catching them, yo. And they faces, man. The faces, they hate it. They like, damn, man. How he catches again? I want to tell stories about Cornerstone because these are stories they're going to tell when they get older too. But the real thing is me and my daughter had a conversation and what she said to me was, yo, it's unbelievable to me that I thought homelessness was one thing for a long time. Like, and then we talk about orientation, school, movies, pictures, and all that. They make certain things look a certain way. Like, they make all drug addicts look the same. That's a lie. Drug addicts look every kind of way you can think. But the movies that make drug addicts look a certain way. Homelessness looks a certain way on TV. But if you don't act, this is the technical John for being homeless. Unless you are a minor or still under somebody's care on paper. If nothing is in your name, you homeless. Do you know that? That is called housing instability. Because you have nothing in you have no rental property, you have no mortgage, you have no bills in your name. If you are living that life right now and you're not on anybody's paper, you are homeless. And that's not a joke, but I'm just thinking about it. It's kind of funny to think about. Like, damn, unless you are under somebody's care like this baby right here, you are homeless if you have nothing in your name. That's some crazy shit. And when my daughter said it to me and she started running down all the different scenarios, which is funny because we be talking about it at different times, like people be homeless and you don't know they homeless because they stay at a homie house for a couple days. They stay at their girl house for a couple days. They stay at auntie house for a couple days. They stay in a trap house for a couple days. They hanging out on the strip for a couple days. And then they start the cycle all over again. He homeless, y'all. He homeless. That's called housing instability. And in the process of him making this cycle, he probably making kids. He probably worked a job, didn't work a job, had a car sometime, didn't have a car sometime. It just was a lot going on. When she said it to me, I could see it. You know how you could see the wheels turning, like somebody just, like something just dawned on him. It was like, how the fuck didn't I know that already? You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy because, again, this is a conversation we've been having for a while. And for her to be a person to 3 days ago, homelessness was just you on the street. To now, my uncle was homeless my whole life. Both of them. Like she was like, both of them just lived with my grandma. They whole life. And they went away, stayed with women from time to time, and then came back home. Stayed with some women or some family members, and then come back home. Or, to mommy house. Because that's what they was doing, coming back to mommy's house. And I'm like, damn, that's real shit. And when we talk about the things that's going on in the city, it's a lot of young people. A lot of them. More than y'all want to believe. That's why y'all keep saying them. Them badass kids over there. That's why y'all keep saying that. Because you got to disassociate from the fact that you mad at them for being on the sub at 2 in the morning. But what was you doing beforehand to keep them from being on the sub? I know what you was doing, and it's unfortunate because, you know, the slave master, I know y'all, you know, we talk about the slave master and systems every week. It's never going to go away because they a part of everything. It's what it is. So when you were saying you didn't want your kids to play with them badass kids down the street, them dirty kids down the street, that woman, you don't like her, so you don't like her kids, so y'all don't want to be community on this block, and then you notice everybody is taking that pattern on, and now kids is just out here. And no buffers, no adults, nobody want to say nothing, do nothing, and now they doing shit, and now you upset talking about them kids over there, them badass kids. And I know we all talk about how every parent, nobody says nothing until it's their child, but all I'm just saying is stop. Words are important, you know what I'm saying? And stop disassociating yourself with these black babies that come from your community, because that's what they wind up doing out there when they don't got nowhere to go. Because we got a bunch of homeless kids out here. Where are the adults? I'm shocked. I don't where are the adults? Because the adults have a lot to say. They do. The older people, they got a lot to say. I'm just trying to understand how is there so many homeless or young folks with housing instability just wandering around, man. Where did they come from? None of y'all wasn't having sex out here. Where these kids come from? The ostrich? Dropping them off in the subway by the dozens? Where are they coming from? Like, that's just a question for all these people who think that they're not responsible for other people's children. That's just my thing. I don't understand it. But you want things done to protect you, to help you, but nobody wants to care about other people's children. And we all keep talking about, nah, because of the parents, because of the parents. Yeah, you too. You too. So that's why a lot of things is going on out here. Because it's too many unmonitored children out here. Young folks. You know how I know that too? Because I be seeing the parties on Fridays, and I don't see enough parents pulling up, dropping nobody off, and picking nobody the fuck up. I ain't saying your baby can't party, because that's all we teach them anyway. Celebrate. Celebrate your life away. I like to celebrate. I drink. Hey, you know, I do.
Celebrate.
But I'm just saying, nobody is dropping these babies off and picking them up, man. They just walking up 6, 7, 8, 9 deep. You know what I'm saying? No parents is pulling up just to check. You know, ain't no such thing as the good old days of the hood, but shit does unravel. And I do remember, not all of us, but I do remember parents pulling up to them fucking house parties, bro. I do remember people getting their parents to drop them off at the corner because they don't want to be seen doing it, but I seen a lot of it. And I'm just saying that's one of the things we need to bring back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying even because I could tell you about that, but I can tell you at the same time I was selling drugs. So the good old days of the hood, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying certain things that we did have in place, it unraveled. It unraveled over time, and we need to get it back because we can add that to whatever we try and change this into. We can bring that back. We can make it. We can strengthen it a little bit to where I feel responsible for people's children when they're around me. And I take a cussing out every once in a while. Not too many. But every once in a blue, I'll take you, what are you doing? Well, listen, such and such was going on. I didn't think nobody seen what was going on. I addressed it. Whatever backlash I'm going to take from whoever the guardian is supposed to be, I'm okay with that because the only thing I'm going to say is we both know whatever I just corrected was going on. And I don't know your baby. So how was I here correcting it and not you? So you can be mad at me. You can be upset with me. It's okay. But, you know, maybe you'll do that for somebody else's baby now. But, yeah, it's a lot of homeless young folks out here. And they be out here on the regular. And it's a lot of housing instability going on in America. I thought you was picking up the microphone. I thought you had something to say. Does Khalida have something? Yeah. Does Carlita have something to say today? She on her right? She still? Are they still gonna make it? I mean, listen, we gonna have to reschedule anyway. But I got some amazing stuff from the folks that's coming. I want them to tell you who they are themselves. But this time is running short. It's running short. So is there anything that I'm leaving out that I said, Katika, go onto the app, right? I said, make sure you Google Black Diamonds Tire Shop, Black Diamond Security, Life Outside the Street, Philly for Real Radio. Like I said, I can't remember my brother Kyrie's security firm, but he definitely down with Black Diamonds though. To Cornerstone, Drop-In Center, 2321 North Broad Street. We do a food drive every Thursday. We give away books, we give away food, we give away clothes. Every Wednesday, we have the community table. We have the music program starting. We're printing and pressing. You know, Carlita learned how to do it. You know, I'm gonna wear the shirt, Carlita. Don't look at me like that. It's like, no, but we print and pressing. We helping people work on workshops. We welcome workshops. We have the garden going on. Housing assistance. Motion Monday. I know y'all seen Motion Monday in the story. Your boy is back. People was saying it was over for me, and I'm back. Come on down on Monday, brother. Brother,
No, I totally forgot.
brother, you seen a pull up, push up, and dip, John, right there. We replaced the basketball and put a pull up, push up, and dip. Yeah, we got rid of the hoop and put that right there. Motion Mondays is a real thing. People told me it was over, and I ran. We was running Broad Street. They thought I was a gang. Non-stop. I'm a machine. Yeah, the dad bod is going away. It's time. And somebody said it was over for me. And then he got his brother hyped up, who know me. The executive producer, he got him hyped up, challenging me to a duel. This is craziness, man. But I'm back. Motion Mondays, sponsored by Real Fruit Smoothies. Be Holy. What's the brother name? He do a little training with us. He rap. What's his name? B Nor. He gonna come on. You know what I mean? He a fan. He fam in Glockaware. Like he tell me he know what's going on around this. Nah.
I just letting you know that once you hit a certain age, man, you only got a couple fallbacks.
You said it in a very educated,
You only got a couple
informed
fallbacks.
way.
You only
But I took it as, you're looking bad out here, brother. Get your shit together, but it might be too late. That's what I heard. Now he can say what he said.
To get your shit together part.
And that might be true.
That's accurate.
But what I heard, you're slipping out here, gang. Get it together.
I think we all need.
But it might be.
We all need somebody to be a truth teller.
Ain't no doubt.
We need a truth teller in our circle.
That's one thing.
No matter how harsh it may be.
Listen, that's one thing I really, truly appreciate about every brother I call my brother that I be around. Like, cats will definitely... Cats will let you know you in the way, man, and it might not be in the most sensitive of ways. But I appreciate it. I ain't one of them boys that be like, you ain't my friend no more. It's really some sensitive ass jokers out here like that. Yeah. Like that's basically what they be saying. They be like, yo, boy, he did X, Y, Z. You know what I be hearing in my head? He ain't my friend no more. You shouldn't be his friend neither. Remember that when we was kids? If he ain't my friend, he shouldn't be your friend neither. And in a lot of situations, that still holds true. I don't want to take nothing away from those principles that we learned during socialization as children, because that's what we was learning when we was running around playing manhunt and hide and go seek and running in abandoned houses and all, catch a girl, freak a girl, all that is socialization going on, problem solving going on. It is important for our kids to intermingle and play on the playground, have safe places to be and play, and just be children, because they learn a lot of good stuff from each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they on each other's level. It's crazy when I learned that, young folks who are born with siblings start talking faster because they have other little people to talk to, and they learn how to. You know what I mean? It's quicker.
You also learn what you're capable of.
Right.
You learn what you're good at. You learn your strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. So that is damn. Aren't you? That's what I was about to say. The principle of being friends. It still holds true, but it's like a lot of times when cats be talking and they be feeling some type of way, man. Like I be like, He ain't my friend no more. Like, no, bro. Like, we can resolve stuff without saying I ain't messing with this person ever again in life. Sometimes that's needed. People need to be ostracized in that way. But we be jumping the gun with that shit. You know what I'm saying? We'll light the whole world on fire quick. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of these people. And then be lonely and shit wishing. I wish he was my friend again. You threw her away over some popcorn at the fucking John because she bought the last 4 times you bought the popcorn. And now you run around telling people, this bitch trying to use me. Yeah, all because you bought popcorn 4 times at the movie. You really added it up. It was like, yo, this bitch trying to use me. That's how crazy they got us, man. They got us wild with it, man. You really ready to throw people away over minor skirmishes, man. I don't never got to deal with you again. Y'all 23. And you really want to make this house gonna go. Yeah. Y'all should say yes. Yes, if you've done something. But that's another thing that blows my mind, too. Yo, we be ready to throw people away for the minor infractions. The major Jones, we really be trying to think about how nah, you don't really got to be like that this time. I be like, what the hell? We finding out how to live with a murderer and a snitch and all this that y'all say is so bad. But the girl who just got popcorn 4 times when y'all went to the movies, because just so happened when y'all went to the movies, it was never on a day when she got paid. That's the reason why you always ask her to go to the movies, because that's the day you get paid. And since you bought the fucking popcorn the last 4 times, now this bitch is trying to use you. This is crazy. But your brother told on the whole hood, and you good with him. And you mad at other people that talk crazy and call him a snitch. This is wild. This is wild. I don't understand how this happened. That shit real, though. It's funny, but that's some real shit. It's just like being in a relationship. It's just like being in a relationship. You'll cut your sister off for nothing. He gave you a disease, and you trying to figure out how it's going to work out. You still messing with him. Blows my mind. That blows my mind. He gave you a fucking disease, and you went back. You know what I'm saying? Your sister knocked the hill off the red bottoms, and that bitch don't care about your money. Even if she stole them and wore them. Yo, men do the same. This is not no gender shit, because I know petty ass dudes. You know what your folks did. You know what he was into, and you so thorough with him. The other boy, he don't give you $50, he owe you. Now he a crumb ass nigga and all this shit. I don't fuck with him, man. I gained that $50. He went and bought sneaks and all that. Ain't give me my money back. Yo. Ain't what you calling your brother? The one that was upstate running around with all the boys. And you trying to get me, you still, what? Come on, man. These is not made up stories neither. And y'all know I can make a lot of different scenarios in these Jones, and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Because them people got us like that. They got us like that. We ain't got no independent thoughts, man. That's what we trying to get to. New information for independent thoughts. Because we going on patterns, man. Patterns that other people created for us. And those attitudes that we have for each other, those are patterns that were created over time. And fostered and fed, you know what I'm saying? And now we believe it. We believe we can't trust nobody we around. So we act in that way to the point where you can't trust nobody you around. Not saying that it ain't people really like that, but everybody ain't on that time. Everybody you encounter is not your last boyfriend or your homie that told on you. Like, try to balance that shit out a little bit. Yeah, you could be cautious, but don't be paranoid and be treating people in a negative manner. And then when they respond to that in kind, now something wrong with them. But you brought that energy into the room. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's a real John. Like, stop bringing all your ghosts and all that shit into the room every time and treating people according to things that other people did to you. And then when they respond in kind to your facial expression, your nonverbals, your tone, the things you talking about, what you questioning about other people that you don't know based off of other folks, instead of maybe just chilling a little bit and watching people and seeing what's going on. So And we doing a lot of that with each other. We beating people up because of what other people did to them, and then it's just keeping it going. Because now I'm traumatized, and I'm going to do that to somebody, and then, you know what I'm saying, it's just going to keep going like that. And we're going to keep hurting people. And that's just one part of it. I guess that ain't the whole solution to it, but it's just one thing for us to look at. But what's your name again, brother?
Brother Mark, M-A-R-K. Mark Overby, friend of the show.
Yes,
family.
thank you. Thank you for putting that out there for the people. Yo, this is PSA, Philly Service Announcement, Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Grace, Social Activism, Resources, Art. I am the assist. Shout out to my sister, the Queen, Nick, Raw Cannon, executive producer, my brother Mile. That's what we doing out here. Good looking, Toucan.